He does not claim to be in the alt-right, but he feels like an alt-right intellectual. Like he's most certainly conservative leaning. He might not be claimed to be super political, but like if you read the book, you're like, yeah, he's conservative. That's pretty obvious from every single thing he says.
Seems like he's trying to trick other people into being alt-right by not saying, oh, I actually have these crazy views. He's saying, oh, I don't have any political views, but here are all my political views.
Yeah, it is like he's like, I criticize both sides, but then it's like, but you seem really in one side, so it's weird. But okay. Yeah, he's very against political correctness. He thinks the humanities have become corrupt. He thinks postmodernism is, just like a actually new communism kind of thing. He hates women's studies, thinks it should be defunded, hates sociology, anthropology, English literature. Jana, coming at you for that. Doesn't think anybody should major in those stuff.
Stupid.
He's also a climate.
All of those things.
He's also a climate change denier. And
of course he is. How could he be anything else?
Exactly. And there was referenced by Michelle, who recommended this book, but he has been on a weird all-meat diet. It's kind of related to his daughter, who has a lot of medical issues. And I don't even care to touch on it, because honestly, I don't really care if he's on an all-meat diet.
Here,
I care. Go ahead, Clara.
Well, no, go ahead.
I mean, that's how you get scurvy. You can't have an all-meat diet. That's just like one thing I know is like pirates proved to us you can't do that one.
Right. But I think
you can argue keto, sure.
I think the daughter has so many weird health issues that, like, you know what, sounds like whatever works for you. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Why does he have to be on an all-meat diet?
Because
just
she
his recommended
it. He has some other issues. I don't know. He has some other issues. He had like an addiction to Klonopin and had to go to like Russia for a little bit to basically detox and a lot of weird stuff. It's just so weird. I don't even want to get into it.
Go to another country to detox
because they wouldn't do it here. I don't know. Because it wasn't. I don't know. It's so weird. I mean, Klonopin does have an addiction.
A public figure, maybe.
It does seem odd that he would be like have a practice, have a PhD in psychology, and wouldn't understand that Klonopin is addictive. But that's just maybe shows how addictive.
But I mean, he also said there is no such thing as climate. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust his researching abilities that much, to be honest.
Yeah, that's very fair. But
maybe he could see what it says in the Bible, though.
Yeah.
Because he uses that as a cited source.
God. He likes that
often throughout the book. Right next to just like, here's a fact, and here's how it's backed up in the New Testament.
I feel like, do you guys want to try to go through this one rule at a time? Or,
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, should we start maybe by just listing the rules? Because once we get started, it's impossible to
All right. Claire, you want to read down the rules?
Yes. Okay.
Want to alternate? Fun.
Yeah, we could alternate.
Sabrina wants a part.
Absolutely.
Sabrina sees her airtime going down.
Everyone want to alternate?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back.
Rule 2. Treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping.
Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you.
All right. Rule 4, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
It's getting off the rails. What the fuck was that? Rule 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them.
Rule 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world.
That one's coming for us, Mean Book Club.
Yeah, that is.
Truly.
Rule 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient.
Rule 8, tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
Rule 9, assume that the person you're listening to might know something you don't.
Rule 10, be precise in your speech. Wow.
Rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding.
Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street.
It gets so crazy at the end. It's really, it's like Grandpa was working on the list, and it was like, he's going to finish the list someday, and everyone's like, I don't know if Grandpa can finish the list anymore, and everyone's like, he can, give him a chance, like Grandpa finishes the list. And it's like, oh, he finally turned in Rule 12. Oh my God, what is it? Pet cats. Okay.
And then the first fucking thing he talks about is dogs in it.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Oh, and then the rest of the chapter after the dogs is how he likes to scare cats. Like, honestly, a little serial killer. He's like, after I wet my bed, I go out into the street and I find a cat. I love to see the kitties jump. What the fuck?
He thinks they look embarrassed when he does it, and he likes that.
This is not a joke. When he sees a cat, he's like, ooh, what am I going to do? Am I going to pet the cat, or am I going to sneak up on it and go, what? It is so sociopathic.
But before we get to that point, I feel like he does start off, if we, time travel back to this first rule, it starts off pretty like kind of normal self-help with like a lot of bullshit of like, okay. I started out with this whole stand up straight with your shoulders back, and then it goes into a lot of lobster stuff. And I liked
the lobster
You liked
stuff.
the lobster stuff? Okay. I was
because
done with the lobster stuff pretty quickly. I was really like,
okay,
this is what this is. This is why people don't like it, because it's boring. Because we're talking about lobsters.
I thought it was kind of interesting. Did you know that when lobsters fight, they shoot liquid at each other that has information about, like, I'm weak or I'm really strong? That comes through in liquid that they shoot at each other. That I thought was interesting.
Right.
Now, I want to put a caveat that this was the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that there was 15 more hours about nothing.
Did you not read the forward introduction part that was 40 pages long,
It
seemed like it was just a friend wrote it?
I skipped some of that because...
we could talk about the intro.
He has a foreword, he has an intro, he has like a postword. It's like all these things. A big part of the foreword is him talking about how successful he was on Quora.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I read a quote from that real quick before we get the rest of the way to the rules? Soon after, I answered another question. What are the most valuable things everyone should know? I wrote a list of rules or maxims. Thanks for explaining what a rule is. Thanks.
So much
some
like
dead
that.
serious, some tongue-in-cheek. The Quora readers appeared pleased. They commented on it and shared it. They said such things as, I'm definitely printing this list out and keeping it as a reference. Simply phenomenal. And, quote, you win Quora. We can just close the site now. To date, my answer has been viewed 150,000 people and upvoted 2,300 times. Like,
not even that impressive. But
no, it's so. He goes on to explain. He's like, not that many people use Quora, so that's actually a lot.
It's wild.
So much of what, throughout this book, it's just like how he explains things are just like as though, I guess, you said it earlier, Sabrina, it was condescending because it's just like every single descriptor has to explain that someone shared and commented. Just say what the comment is. I don't know why we need to.
Why are you reading
go
people's
step by step.
Reddit comments on your post? That's what this effectively is. It's like, I got 17 upvotes on Reddit. Here was all the things the nice people said. They gave me silver. What?
And it's supposed to impress us into being like, yep, this guy is the guy to listen to.
Yes.
Whoa, he knows what he's talking about.
It's like you'd think he'd talk more about his PhD or something. I don't know. It's surprising.
That might have, yeah.
But no, that's not.
No, because he has a grandpa personality. He's just like, I have a story about a wren. Did you know wrens and lobsters are different? Here are the ways.
Water versus air.
Yeah. He listed. He's like, one has feathers. Oh, thank you, Grandpa. That's really a cool story.
It is wild that he does have a PhD and was a professor, and his he leans into why he's credible, and it's because of his Quora upvotes. Like, what a psychopath.
I think it pisses me off that he's like, that he gets to be fucking proud of it. It's like, fuck off. You don't get to get a lot of likes on something and then go bragging about it. Like, you have to just be humble. It can make you happy, but you can't admit that.
Be humble is not in this list.
No, but it's also like he's bragging about 2,300 likes. It's so few likes in the world of likes. Also, like the quote you were reading, Jonna, when I was reading that, I was like, does he not know that he's potentially being made fun of? The person who's like, you win Quora, we can close the site down now. Mm-hmm. They weren't being genuine.
Yeah, he definitely understands humor. You could tell by how humorous he was throughout the book.
That was so funny.
Rule 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back. He talks, I don't know, like on its face, you're just like, okay, like have confidence.
It reminded me of a Simpsons joke, which is there's like a self-help video called Get Confident, Stupid. And like, that's very much what this reminded me of. He would like explain how depression is like lack of serotonin. So it was like, so be happy. Like, that's not helpful.
But also he started introducing his like gender politics, I would say, at this point, going into about the lobster and like how the lobster's like just looking for the strongest male, and how it's just like humans, and the lobster hangs around after they fuck and hardens up for a few weeks, you know, kind of like human beings. All that kind of stuff is like, it was just like, what what are you talking about?
What do you mean? Yeah.
It also is so weird to be like, lobsters are like this, so you should also be like this, or like this is the way society is because lobsters are like, I don't know. It was such a strange argument, I thought.
It's just such a bummer because it's such a good point. Ultimately, it's like, yeah, you should stand up straight, take up space, like allow yourself to feel powerful and let other people see you that way. But then all the rationale behind it, it just gets crazier and crazier until it's ultimately at the end of the day, like most of the rules are just about something inherent in your gender. It's like it ends with like, stand up straight, even you ladies. You can.
It's like, why? Why did we need to go into that? That's why it's like by the end of the book, I remember seeing like it was recommended for like young men. And I remember being like, why on its face would these 12 rules be a book for young men? I'm like, oh, I get it, because he fucking hates women. And like, I don't know, just it was so weird the way he goes on and on about them. Do you know the second rule?
Yes.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Treat we're spending less time on these because I feel like they are the least weird, I would say. But the second rule is treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping. So we start to get more into Garden of Eden. We start to get more religious in this chapter, which might be disappointing if you were into the lobster science stuff. You might be a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, but he treats.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know going in until we were about here that there was going to be religion involved in this book.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
it felt like it was coming. Yeah, something about it.
I felt like it was just like, this is why Bible study's boring, isn't it? Because it was just like so in depth about stuff in the Bible that I'm like, why? In the end, I'm like, I guess if I was really interested in the Bible, I would be interested in what he's saying, but I'm not currently. So it was painful for me to
like
go
that
through this
currently.
Point. I have in the past. I have in the past.
Yeah, I think it was interesting. It could be interesting to like talk about religion. I certainly don't mind talking about it. I like to talk about it, but it was weird that it was treated with the same degree of like scientificness as the lobster piss or whatever the lobsters do.
Yeah.
It was just like, now scientifically in the Garden of Eden, Satan approached Eve first. Now let's talk about why that might have been the case.
It's because women are weak.
Yeah. Because women have been making men self-conscious since the beginning of time. They do this by rejecting them and shaming them.
It's
actual quote.
Honestly, you're right.
Yeah.
It was so, it just feels like everything had this weird layer of like